Hi, I'm Tim Kremer, the Executive Director of the New York State School Boards Association. Welcome to this edition of Newsmaker. My guests are Mary Beth Woods, the Executive Director of the New York State Workers' Compensation Board, and the General Counsel to the Board, David F. Wertheim. Welcome. We're so glad that you're both here. This is about paid family leave. Why would the Workers' Compensation Board be the ones responsible for administering this program?
That's a great question. Actually, the paid family leave program is under the disability benefits law, and the Workers' Comp Board is responsible to administer the disability benefits law, so it was kind of a natural fit to put paid family leave under the Workers' Comp Board.
How is the new paid family leave program different from any other forms of leave that an employee might have available to them?
So the paid family leave program offers paid time off to care for a newborn child, for adoption or foster care, and it's to cover times where you need time off for family matters, or let's say if somebody is deployed for the military. And the benefit of it is there's a lot of people who may have some kind of leave accrual, but it may not apply to these circumstances. So paid family leave gives them the ability to leave for those situations where they have an immediate need and not charge their accruals necessarily. That's an employer decision, but it gives them a lot more flexibility than a traditional vacation or sick time, and it also is to cover someone else, and sometimes sick time is just to cover the individual themselves. So it gives them a lot more flexibility to deal with the family matters when they arrive.
And when you say it's not only just available for the employee, but there may be somebody else in my family? Is that what you're referring to?
That's correct. So the law allows you to take time off. Like I said, if there's a situation where you have a new child, or for family purposes, let's say it's a parent or a child who has a serious health condition, they can take time off to deal with that health condition for that individual.
So there are costs associated with this program, I'm assuming.
Correct. And
who would be responsible for those costs?
So the cost is to be borne by the employees through a payroll deduction. It's 0.126 of their wages up to the statewide average weekly wage. And the employers will collect that money and then in turn use that to cover the premiums for the program. So an employer is required to get a policy, or they can choose to be self-insured, but typically the majority of them will be through policies. It'll be a rider on their disability benefits policy.
Now you mentioned that public employers can opt in, private employers must do this. Why was the law written such that only private employers were mandated and not the public employers?
So that's largely a function of just how the statute was drafted and where paid family leave was placed. Like Mary Beth was mentioning, it's part of the disability benefits law, and the disability benefits law is part of the workers' comp law, which is why we're here.
Yeah.
So under the disability benefits law, which is the short-term disability benefit, it's very different from paid family leave. It's much less a maximum benefit than paid family leave will be, but it's in the same statute. So in that statute, public employers are afforded the opportunity to provide it, but it's not mandatory, and the state actually is not allowed to offer disability benefits. Under paid family leave, the opt-in for public employers is there, and it's also there for the state. So it actually is a little expanded, and now all public employers in the state have the opportunity to opt in. And so it's subject to collective bargaining if collective bargaining applies. If collective bargaining doesn't apply, the governmental unit can choose to opt in. In terms of the philosophical question of why, that's really a question for the legislature and the governor. So this was part of the 2016 executive budget passed by the legislature, signed by the governor to structure it in this way.
Well, Mary Beth, David, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really do appreciate it, and I'm sure that we will get plenty of phone calls coming our way, inquiries, and we'll look for an opportunity to reconnect with you and have people find out more about this important program.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you. You can find more information on my guests and the Workers' Compensation Board on the description section on YouTube. I'm Tim Kremer. Thanks for watching this edition of Newsmaker. Have a great day.